Okay, so a pretty interesting couple of days for mortgage news. We've got the 50-year mortgage. You heard me right, 50-year mortgage, and also Fannie Mae scrapping credit score requirements. So let's tackle this. Okay, so first let's tackle Fannie Mae removing credit score requirements. I don't necessarily think this is a big deal. Basically, you've got conventional loans where you are going to run it through Fannie Mae's automated underwriting system. Instead of solely looking at credit scores, they're going to look at other factors. So does that mean that more conventional loans are going to be approved or that lenders won't have their own overlays? We'll see. Credit score isn't everything. We can take a look at VA loans, which do not have a minimum credit score, and they're doing just fine. So as long as there is common sense underwriting applied to loan files, I don't necessarily have a problem with this. This doesn't necessarily mean that we're all of a sudden going to be having people approved who maybe shouldn't be approved. We'll wait and see. We'll see how the underwriting guidelines look. Now, here's what did get my attention today. Trump has floated the idea of a 50-year mortgage as a way to increase home affordability. I cannot understate how stupid, short-sighted, and dangerous this idea is. Folks, we have seen this story before. For all intents and purposes, a 50-year mortgage is an interest-only mortgage. For a huge amount of time, you're basically going to be paying just interest. You're not going to be paying principal down on that mortgage. The thing that scares me with this is that what we had seen in the pre-2008 housing crisis is that something risky like this doesn't end up in the hands of somebody who can afford to take on that risk. It ends up in the hands of people who shouldn't be in that loan. So either the realtor or an unethical loan officer say, oh, you can't afford that? Well, here, no worries, here's a 50-year mortgage. But they really can't undertake the risk of undertaking basically an interest-only loan, which is what you are doing for all intents and purposes with a 50-year mortgage.